am Red Cyclone!
On an outer space adventure, they got hit by cosmic rays, and the forward change forever in some most fantastic way. No need to fear, they're here, just call before. Fantastic Four, don't need no more.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Merc with the mic.
What is going on?
Chillin', Merc. What it is?
Not much, man. New York Comicon arrived. I didn't go, but it's here. They announced a lot of stuff from it.
Good.
Yeah.
I did see some people we support. I saw the New Day. Well, many members of the New Day were there.
Yes.
Mr. Creed. I believe Big E was also there.
And
Kofi. Breeze. The rightful left right champion.
Yes.
I said it.
Yes.
I said it. Who else? There's a bunch of people
Britt
from
Baker was there with
Britt.
Foley.
Yeah. Oh, she was with Foley. Nice.
Who else was there? Wrestling wise, there was a lot of people there, but the ones that caught our eye, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers were there on Friday.
Nice.
No, they were there. No, they were there Saturday because Friday they were on the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They also had exclusive bindies. So there's a lot of things coming out. They showcased new figures, they showcased new toys, they showcased NECA, showed a bunch of Ninja Turtle stuff, and my wallet went sad because there's so much stuff they announced. There's a lot. There's a giant ass frog that's probably gonna cost like $50, $60. They have a Space Usagi, which I'm actually cool with. They have a 4-pack of the Punk. So they're in later season. There was like a family of runs that they had a car and they just took over shit. They're making them in a 4-pack. They're doing Mona Lisa. They're doing this bounty hunter. I forgot his name. They're doing this Fly Dude, which was a superhero. He's, I think, in the 2-pack as well. They're doing Super Bebop, Super Rocksteady. They're doing Last Ronin has a whole line, so they showed Leonardo, the 2 Ronins, the Raphael figure, and the Shredder of that time. They're doing the IDW comic book turtles, which look pretty dope. They all have the red bandanas and stuff, and you actually see Splinter in his little self. They're doing the Archie comic versions, which they're doing kind of the random mutants than the actual turtles.
Okay.
They have Slash, they have this Jaguar, they have this Lion, and they have Ray Fillet.
All right.
So there's a lot of things.
Did they make one of those? So what's the?
So Ray Fillet, they Super 7 this Ray Fillet as a remaster of the original figure. They have a Ray Fillet for the comic book from the Archie comic.
Cool.
So they showed a bunch of that. They also showed a lot of McFarlane figures coming out. They showed Casey Jones is the next horror one. There's Phantom of the Opera. They actually showed Donatello and Splinter on the floor, which Donatello has like an invisible shell that has pizzas in it, and he's the Visible Man, so he has like some limbs that are invisible and stuff like that. Looks pretty cool.
Are they finished now, or did they still have the Splinter? I think you said
Splinter hasn't come out and Donatello has come out, but they showed all 3, the next 3 that's coming out, and they also showed some concepts, which we might be getting a Toka Razor of that series as well. Which Toka was the creature of the Black Lagoon, and Razor was the Wolfman.
Okay, cool.
So it's pretty much them in clothes.
Okay.
It looks really cool though. It looks really cool. So hopefully there's a lot of things coming out. But they showcased that Marvel Legends. They actually showcased the Ghost Rider on the floor of Comicon. It got a lot of positive response because I think the that campaign went higher since New York Comic Con started.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good for it. I kind of want it, but it's too. I'm just gonna stay hard, and the price tag is too high.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But they
Alright,
also showed a
alright.
bunch of Marvel Legends and all that stuff. So yeah, New York Comic Con is just showing a bunch of stuff. Take your money.
It do what it do. It's here to showcase and have people
Yeah.
peddle their wares to you, whether
Yeah.
it be plastic or television
Yeah, that's true. That's
or
true.
whatever. So it is what it is.
I like
Was
the.
there anything media-wise that they debuted, they talked about for the first time that you were like, okay,
Not really. Most of the stuff. The new Addams Family TV series. They kind of. That was the first trailer they showed. A full trailer that you saw Uncle Fester and you saw Christina Ricci in it as well.
cool stuff.
She was
cool
the
stuff.
original Wednesday Addams.
Did they say who's playing Uncle Fester? Or like, is it any characters
It's that
like they
dude from
know?
Portlandia. I forgot his name.
I'm not familiar with the show.
He was in
unfortunately.
SNL.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing Uncle Fester. It actually looked cool because they showed him and he was like saying hi to his niece and shit. It looks like it's gonna be an interesting show. Luis Guzman is Gomez. Catherine Zeta-Jones is Morticia.
I feel like she must need work. She's on the house. How long is this show? They say?
I don't know.
Is it in the typical 12 or 24
Probably
thing
like 10
that they do
episodes.
nowadays? Oh, 10 That's
Yeah.
that's low.
Yeah, but
Come
Netflix
on.
pays a lot. So
Yeah, but that's not a lot though.
no, but they probably have it for season 2 and stuff too.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll see. But they did showcase that. Everything else, like it. So this Comic Con is in a weird spot because it's right after a lot of season premieres.
Oh, is it now?
So
I didn't know that. Okay.
you're only getting what's kind of going on now, and not like the previews of things and things like that. You
Okay.
will get more of that with the comic book world and stuff like that, but like movie wise, you don't get as much.
That was the only thing, though? There wasn't anything in any other medium?
They
like
did
the-
show another trailer for Black Adam. There, it was that movie hasn't got me like excited for it. I'm gonna see it, but I'm not like really excited for it.
Mhm.
The last Wakanda Forever trailer looked beautiful. I'm actually excited for that.
Okay.
The Wolf. I watched it actually today. It's Werewolf by Night. It's a Marvel special feature on Disney Plus. It's supposed to be connected to the MCU, but it's like their monster. It's like their first horror movie of the MCU, which was really dope.
Understood.
It was filmed in black and white and everything. It feels like a black and white movie. It has an old school feel. I always liked the character man thing, so I was excited to see him in there.
So they show him full on?
Yeah. His name is Ted.
Looks like. You said his name is Ted?
His name is Ted.
Who called him Ted?
The Wolfman. The guy that's the Wolfman. He calls him Ted.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And yeah, like I loved it. And spoilers. The ending is a scene of him and Ted talking to each other, having coffee, and it was actually really cool. I actually liked the scene.
Is this they're making up origins and stuff for these characters? Or are they trying to stay close to what they came from? Because I don't know much.
So
about these characters.
there was a comic book called Werewolf by Night. Moon Knight actually debuted it in that comic book.
Okay.
It was during the 1970s, so during that time, Marvel was trying to get their stuff into the horror realm. So you had Blade, you had characters like Blade being made. Ghost Rider was high in comic sales and things like that. So they kind of went more to the horror kind of genre. They were trying to keep up with like the Creep Show books and things like that. So they made this book, and it was kind of like they introduced this character Bloodstone, which if you look at the Midnight Suns, that's the main character.
Okay.
And it looks like they could build them to a movie of the Midnight Suns or a special or a TV show of the Midnight Suns. So it's gonna be interesting in what they do with that. And it was actually really good. It was only an hour long. It didn't like stay too long, but it was actually just really fun to watch.
Oh, cool. All right. That's
So
good.
I definitely check
That's
it
good.
out when you get a chance. It's on Disney Plus. Another one I want to spot out is on Hulu. They have the new Hellraiser, which is a remake of the current last Hellraiser movies, and it's getting crazy reviews. I'm actually probably gonna watch it tonight and see how that is because it looks
That's good.
really good.
That's good. I hope it's good. I have not seen one of those because they are terrifying. So
They're
no
very
thank
terrifying.
you. No
And they-
thank you.
And they do things to your skin that it should not be done.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, they pull
I've
it.
I've seen the main villain, and he doesn't look like he's got all his skin. So I can imagine what
Yeah.
he does to people. So
Yeah. So those
That's
are things I've watched this week. Besides tons of wrestling that we always do.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So yeah. So those are things like that. So for New York Comic Con, that's all the news I got. With more like they introduce like comic storylines that are coming out later this year and things like that. But I'm like the funny thing is like I'm not a current comic person. Like I have no clue what the world of Marvel's going on through right now, or DC at all. I'm like maybe like 2 years behind everything.
I got you.
And like lately, the only thing I've been actually really reading is the IDW Turtle comic, and that's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I have it on. Shout outs to Comicology if you on Amazon Prime. It's $4.99 for a month, and you get a lot of comics you can read. Over 10,000 issue comics you can read on that, and they even have omnibuses for free on there, which that's what I'm reading the Turtles on.
Okay, good stuff.
So the IDWs are actually really cool, and they had some really crazy stuff going on, like like Spencer killing fucking Shredder and things like that. It was a lot of crazy shit. So it's been a fun book to read. I've been reading that. I went back onto Spawn. I've been reading old school Spawn to see if it relates today, and it's a really weird read. Like it is a really weird read.
Explain.
So
What's up with that?
all right, so if you think about it, when Spawn came out, it was like 91, 92. So the renaissance of Image Comics, it was like probably the best of Marvel and DC. They got tired of Marvel and DC shit, and they formed their own comic book studio, and that's exactly what it was. And Image had the who's who of artists and writers on there. So they had Jim Lee, they had Mark Silverstein, they had Tom McFarlane, they had the creator of Deadpool, I always forget his name. They had a bunch of people that went on did Image. Spawn, I'll say honestly, is always will be Image Comics to me. If you ever mention Spawn, always think Spawn. If you ever mention Image, I always think Spawn. So it was beyond its time. So like during this time, Marvel and DC had the comic code, so they couldn't go that hard into like mature content. It had to have superhero stuff. It had to have a moral. It had to have things like that because the comic code blocked them. Image Comics did not have to do that. So Spawn was a different beast. It was violent. There was sex. There was nakedness. There was blood. There was guts. There was a lot of crazy shit in that show, in the comic book. So it was unique for its time because again, you're getting a lot more childish books from Marvel and DC, and then you have this one, and me being a child reading Spawn for the first time, I was like, what the fuck am I reading? And it was great. So
Okay.
it's just the gratuitous violence of how violent the book was, and I was just shocked and like, wow, this book was really fucking violent. And I just liked the story of Al Simmons and kind of like the building of his character, and then they kind of go into the person that actually killed him, which he wound up being a character of the cyber Youngbloods and shit. So they go more in depth in that story. There's just wretched violence and just a lot of adult themes that you're not used to during that time. And like honestly, like especially the first like 20 issues, I think it could hold itself, but I think the story would be a lot more structured. As in this one, it goes everywhere, but you kind of get the gist of what's going.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I recommend, if you ever had time to read it, on Comicology they have volume 1 through like 20 of Spawn. It has like 6 issues in each volume, so you can actually go through it, and it actually goes through the storylines and not just comics. So if there's a storyline that connects to like medieval Spawn, and he has like an issue 1, 2, and 3, it will add that to it.
Okay. Okay.
So it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. And again, I haven't read Spawn in such a long time, so I've been collecting Spawn. I collected Spawn's comics since '91, as I first bought it, and I collected the book every month since. And then I stopped at when Al Simmons died. When they killed off Al Simmons, I kind of stopped buying the book. I was like, I was a little mad about that, but he's back, and I know he's still growing, and that book is still strong. And also, Tom McFarlane announced on New York Comicon that the movie's getting written by the people that did Joker, and Jamie Foxx is then on the leading role for Al Simmons.
Okay.
So we're getting that.
That's cool.
So, Street Fighter, huh?
So I know a lot of people were complaining about not getting into the closed beta, but I saw a lot of people actually playing it, which is cool. I know it was supposed to be just for this weekend, so today's the last day. And it looks good. I like all the weird, creepy, disturbing, amazing, messes of humanity that everybody's making. And the character creator, that's what you need to keep people involved. I thought it was going to have some of the single player stuff, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it does have like the extreme mode, so it has some of the fun stuff in there. People probably aren't putting up mad videos of that because it's not just fighting, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you look, you can see some footage of that stuff. That's the one with the giant exploding volleyballs and stuff.
Yeah.
Or the one with the bull that just runs through the stage and knocks you over and stuff. So it has the silly modes in there. It just doesn't have the world tour mode.
Yeah, I was watching Maximilian's, especially on Friday night. I watched a lot of his stuff on Friday night.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
He's probably like the biggest person to watch. But I kind of knew he was gonna do his thing, so I was watching the people like that are tournament players and stuff, discovering stuff in tech and whatnot. So I was like, okay, the people who get to the nitty gritty, that's what I wanted to see. So like, if they're saying like this stuff looks polished and it looks good, and I'm like, all right, good.
Nice.
That's what I needed to hear. And also the netcode, which is the connection between players. The Capcom has not taken a Tekken approach, which is to not say anything. They have officially like made it good, because Street Fighter V's netcode was not good.
Yeah.
And it was it was held back in the past. There was an evolution over COVID with more video game companies, specifically fighting game companies, upping their netcode for their games to what is called rollback netcode, which is basically a superior netcode. I think the other one was just we didn't have the technology or the know-how widely available, or it's kind of because it was independently developed by like regular people, and no multi-million-dollar company really wants to invest in something like that, until it's proven. Yeah. So it took a long time for people to trust it, and so now it's here. And in Street Fighter 6, it is using that type of netcode, and people are not complaining. That is not one of the places. Of course, it being a beta, the server did go down a few times. They did have emergency maintenance multiple times, so people could get back in and keep playing.
Yeah, every person that wrote down, this sucks. Like, it's a beta. This is why they're doing it. So when have the real game, it doesn't do as much.
Yeah, but I've seen overwhelmingly positive stuff, which is surprising. Just people there's not this one little corner where people just sitting around, man, this is whack, and here's why. There's more people who don't have it.
Yeah.
And if they got it, they salty.
Yeah. Scott Steiner salty. He didn't get his beta.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
He didn't get his
played
beta.
Tekken. He mad because he played Tekken and he ain't got rollback. That's why.
They also fully announced that it's going to be cross-platform.
I think.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's something they're going to test. They stated they want to test it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I do not know if they did that this weekend, because I did not hear anybody say crossplay.
I know PC and PlayStation, you were able to play with each other.
Okay.
That
makes
was one I
sense.
know. Like someone told me that. Like that's
That makes
exactly
sense
how they play
because of the deal with PlayStation
it. Yeah, probably.
from before, they already have that connection with
Yeah.
Steam, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess they have to get everything else set up for that later. But the game's not coming out this year. So they
Yeah.
got time.
You have a lot of
They
time.
got lots of time.
It's like March.
And this
right?
is only 8 characters that they put in the
Yeah.
beta out of all the ones. And they remember they even showed more physically, like doing stuff. So they have more like ready. So I'm hoping they do when they do the open beta, which they did for 5.
Yeah.
Once they did the open one, it was I think at least we know now that the process will be better than it was for Street Fighter 5. That's the main
I'm more excited for it too.
and that the product will be handled better than it was than Street Fighter 5. That's a lot of what you see now is that the team that's doing it now is taking feedback. That's not what they were doing for 5.
Yeah.
They were very, very corporate and stern at that point, and they did not want to hear anything.
Okay.
So now it's the opposite because the sales were bad in the beginning.
Yeah.
It took them so much time to recoup. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that again. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
So learn your lesson. And here's to hoping that Tekken does an open beta for a closed beta for the game, and then they do an open one because that netcode needs to be there.
Yeah.
They can't do that. Like you'll see it if it happens.
Yeah.
If they try to pull we're gonna do what we're gonna do and don't listen, you're gonna see Tekken's not gonna do so good.
Yeah.
It just won't, because 2020 changed a lot of things with the netcode. So
Yep.
I like that Street Fighter that used to just be the butt of a joke, and then it took like 6 years for it to be a game that people finally accepted again.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's starting on a good foot.
Yeah, me too.
Hey,
And it looks really fun. It's looking really cool.
That's the best thing. It looks really fun.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that they gotta tune up the backgrounds,
Oh yeah.
because not the stages, the NPCs in the background look very generic.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that in a fighting game, for me, is a no-no.
Yeah.
Because I will say, all those 2D fighting games, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
The characters in the background, you would love to look. One of the things about Capcom fighting games was always look in the stage in the background and see what kind of cool stuff you see, and then see who's back there.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, yo, this character's hiding in the back, and he only comes out in the second round. And, oh, look, it's somebody from a completely different game. And that's what Capcom is known for. They're the ones that innovated that. So when you look at some of the stages and you see the NPCs and they just look kind of like creative characters, it's like, ugh. Yeah, you gotta fix that. So, like, if there's any one thing that I think needs work, it's the NPCs in the background.
Yeah.
They need to be on the same level as the characters you play as. That's my 2 cents.
That makes sense.
Yes, sir.
I did like it. I did enjoy what I saw. Chun-Li looks pretty badass. I mostly saw Ryu and Ken more than anybody. That the music chick was pretty cool looking.
I'm surprised so many people like Ryu in this game. Like, oh wow, he's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make a character fun. People pick him.
Yeah.
And don't just go, oh yeah, the generic Karate Man. Yeah, but generic Karate Man in this game looks cool. So.
Yeah. And then I kind of liked what I saw from Ken and Chun-Li. I definitely go. Chun-Li's my girl, so I always go for her first. So yeah, I'm enjoying what they're doing with that, and it looks fun. I'm actually excited. Look, I actually want to pre-order it. I'm waiting for if they actually have a collector's edition. I might look at and see what it is before purchasing and shit. So
I hope it's not a statue of Luke,
I want a statue of,
because he's the main character. I hope he's not a statue
I
of
want
Luke.
a bearded Ryu.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes.
Or Chun-Li.
With his
But
funky,
not, please don't let it be Luke. I bet you it's gonna be Luke.
Yeah. It's
Because
probably-
the 5 was Ryu, right? It was a Ryu statue.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Probably
It's always
Luke
like the
and
poster,
other
the
dude.
poster person,
Yeah.
the cover person. So I think because he's the cover guy. Ooh.
Probably Luke and the other dude.
Jamie.
Yeah.
No, well they said Luke is the main character. They
Oh.
said that in 5.
Yeah.
So it is probably just gonna be him.
Yeah. Mr. Generic. You ain't gonna take Ryu's spot, man. No one gonna like you.
I like how he looks in the game, but
Yeah.
his outfit is so
Yeah.
regular dude. That's
Yeah.
the thing I don't like about it.
Yeah. So Street
Why he
Fighter.
barefoot? He had like Tim's on in the last game.
Yeah.
Why you take his Tim's off? Come on, man. What's up with that? Ken got Tim's on. What?
Ken,
Stop it.
yeah, Ken got Tim's on. I wish he was a hobo. I was excited for him to be a hobo.
Well, he's got the nice dirty jacket, so it's
Yeah,
all right.
he just
He
does
got the
construction,
suspicious
though.
jacket.
Yeah. He sells you watches after work.
I don't know if he sells anything. Probably just waiting to buy stuff because he's rich.
Yeah.
What you got? You supposed to open that up? Nah, what you got?
I'm hoping like I kind of want to see what Zangief looks like.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Zangief.
Zangief, RedCycloneInc. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
our unofficial official mascot. So we want to see how he look.
Where he at?
Where he at? Blanca looked weird to me. He just looked like Shrek gained weight.
Yeah, he does look like Shrek.
Yeah.
He has a Shrek face.
But yeah, hopefully
Honda looks good.
next
I like
if
how
they
Honda
do
looks.
open beta, they do more characters
Mm.
or different characters. I don't have to. You don't have to bring back the ones you tried. You try out like another
See, yeah,
6.
they did that. That was one thing they did better with.
Yeah.
Or I don't say better. They did good with 5. At least that they did spread out the characters.
Yeah.
But then again, they didn't have that many. So you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I would like to see some of the other characters, just like the other starting characters,
Mm-hmm.
and like switch them out. Like don't have Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li in the next beta. Just have the different characters that weren't on that one.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That
So
would make a lot of sense.
sounds good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, but also it's just positive. That's what I have to say for the debut
Yes.
of the not the open, the closed beta.
Yeah.
So, positive.
I found out too late to sign up. I was a little sad.
I just didn't feel like
Oh,
playing.
okay.
Because you know what? I know it's versus. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the world tour mode.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
That was cool.
They brought it back. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think I was on the last day and I just saw all the stuff you had to do to get it. I'm like,
Yeah, that's good. But I just
Yeah.
it's my fault. I didn't have an ID because I play Monster Hunter and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I actually take the surveys and things from Capcom. So I should have already done that.
yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yep.
Let's see.
So-
What else is there? I don't think there's much else because we already covered Comicon and that was the big deal.
Yeah. Did you watch the last episode of She-Hulk?
No, I haven't. I haven't watched She-Hulk since
The last episode
one.
was probably their best episode. It was really good.
Is that so? Okay.
You'll love the frog guy. You will love him.
I did see that they showed him on the Marvel socials.
Yeah.
So I got to see what he looked like.
He's a character I know for a fact you're gonna love.
Okay.
And not just
okay.
what he does, just the kind of character he is. And you're like, you'll probably get a good laugh out of it.
Okay, that's good.
We got
That's
our
good.
debut of Daredevil, and then we also got like our kind of like Netflix Easter eggs of Daredevil, and it was really dope. It was a really good episode, and they did a really good job with that episode. And it kind of gives you a good conclusion because next week's episode is the last one.
Okay.
So,
All right. That's
yeah,
good.
It was good, and yeah, that's all I got.
Yes, sir. So we could get into our comic book and superhero movies from 2000 on.
Yes.
Right now we are at 2005 still, and we are viewing or have viewed the Fantastic Four, 2005. It is PG-13. It is an hour 46. It was released in the
July.
United States on July 8th, 2005.
I remember being there first day.
I did not see this movie in theaters. I saw it on DVD.
I think my mom took me for my birthday because my birthday is later that week.
Okay, gotcha.
So
This
we
movie is directed by Tim Story.
Yes.
Does not sound familiar.
He is famous for Think Like a Man, Barbershop, Taxi.
He's got a very,
Shaft.
very long list of hip hop and R&B music videos under his belt.
Yep.
I see. A lot.
He did
lot.
what else?
A whole lot. And not the bottom of the barrel, the top. got the Locks, you got Genuine, you got Casey and JoJo, Jagged Edge, you got Tyrese.
But I can't forgive
India
him.
Irie, like you damn, you Beanie Man, like you name it, for that era, 2001 to 2002. No, 97 to 2002.
Yeah.
It looks like is his whole reign of that genre of music video.
He also did NSYNC.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forgive him for this one though. He did Taxi with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah.
Yeah,
so.
but he also did Barbershop, which is a great
Barbershop
one.
was good. He did the first one. I don't think he did
The first one. The first one was a great one.
He did Ride Along. He did Think Like a Man too. He did a lot of Kevin Smith stuff. Kevin Hart
He
stuff.
did a few documentaries I see here. The Kevin Hart's.
He did The Shaft. 2019.
The Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, he did the new Tom and Jerry that was on HBO Max. That was okay.
See, I'm not familiar with that. Did not see.
And then he did both Fantastic Four movies. So we'll be revisiting him later on in this cast. Not today's cast, but down the road.
Okay, that's good. So he's got a pretty good pedigree for a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, he got a little speed bumps here and there, like you said, but most of his stuff is winning. It is also written by Mark Frost.
Yep.
And Michael France. Of course, they give the credits to the original characters from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Yep.
This movie stars what is his name? Ian? I believe so. Ian Grufford.
Yep.
And that is Reed Richards, Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm. We have Julian McMahon as Victor Von Doom.
No McMahon relations.
Oh no, it's even spelled the same. Hamish Linklater as Leonard. You have Carrie Washington as Alicia Masters.
Yep.
Laurie Holden as Debbie McIlvaine. Who else stood out? I don't know about Ernie. Come on.
Maria Menounos.
As who was she? Maria Menounos? Oh, that's it.
That's
Then again, I don't know. She kind of had lines and a whole scene with Johnny Storm, so can't really say she wasn't insignificant.
Yeah. Those are the ones
That's pretty much it, because it's very much a small, like, central cast of like important players in this movie.
So, I think what we're gonna have to do is kind of keep track of how many superhero comic book characters these actors play, because I think Chris Evans is gonna have a lot of characters.
I'm only aware of two. Who else did he play?
Was Johnny Storm. He was in Losers, which is a comic book based movie that we're going to be watching soon. He was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He was in Captain America, all three. He was in Push. And right now, so he has like 7 movies in our list right now.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Ryan Reynolds is one of them too, that he has quite a few movies.
Really? Okay.
As in, he started Blade 3. He's in, so.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
We got quite a few. So it's gonna be interesting how many actors we see that have multiple movies in this list. Oh, Jessica Alba. This will be her second movie.
Yeah, because she's in Sin City. That's true. That is true.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we had a lot of people that were in the same movie. Remember, we had our favorite Mongolian.
Yeah.
He was in like every movie for a good while.
Yeah.
The whitest Mongolian. So let's see. You said this story was taking the basis from the what do you call it, the Ultimates?
So this
timeline?
This storyline was more in tune with the Ultimate Fantastic Four storyline than the original storyline. The only thing that they kind of kept the same is the fact that they were a lot older and they were not young.
Gotcha. Okay.
And when they do that, I tend not to like it, because I don't mind the Ultimate Universe, and 100% I love Ultimate Spider-Man. It's probably one of my favorite comic book runs. I do like the Ultimate X-Men as well, but there was a lot of things that Ultimate X-Men I did not like as well. And that's also going into the X-Men movies. They did the same thing with a lot of characters as well. I understand why they do it because it just makes more of a nowadays kind of story with their origins instead of going to the original origin, because again, original origin 1963, so it's kind of dated in that stuff. So they literally do the Ultimate line because they were more nowadays kind of thing, and that's what they did. And they also did the same thing with the character Doctor Doom, that he's based on the Ultimate Doctor Doom, which I already did not like when I first heard that he was going to be based on it. I was like, because shout outs to my cat Doom. Doctor Doom is like one of my favorite villains. So I'm like, damn, why you gotta fuck him up?
Yeah, I have no positive things to say about Doctor Doom in this movie.
Yeah.
It might as well be a different character entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And then just call him a Doombot at the end, because it's nothing about that character felt to me like Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I did not read the Ultimate version of that story, but like, there's way too many things for the character that just don't line up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just didn't feel impactful in the movie. It just felt very... This movie is a product of its time, because this movie is also another movie we went through that is close to, I want to say, like Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
Where it's got attitude, it's got tude, dude.
The tude.
This movie is like made for like late
Extreme
teens.
dude.
Yeah, but like a lot of the Johnny Storm stuff, a lot of even the corporate Steve, Doctor Doom stuff, it feels like stuff made for like 17, 18, that age where you're like getting into the real world and like everybody's happy-go-lucky because that's the Johnnies doing everything and not taking any taking all the chances, not saying sorry, and doing risky things, and all the licensed music in the world.
Yes.
And it's not. You look back at it and it just seems dated.
Yeah.
When movies do that, it dates the movie, and it's like, like that's what stands the test of time on this list, particularly for me, is how they handle a lot of like the time period that the movie came out.
Yeah.
And like, can you spot, like when you watch this movie, can you tell when the movie was made? Forget if the movie's in a fantasy setting, because you can't take the setting of the movie as the time period, because that's what's on film. They could say it's whenever, it could be whatever, it could be like Sin City, it could be non-existent place.
Yeah.
So you can't take that, but you can always tell when it was made by the things that happen in it, if they choose to make a movie a certain way. And 100%, the easiest way to date a movie, licensed soundtrack in the movie.
Yeah.
So this one already has a strike against it, and they use it a lot for Johnny Storm. A lot. Almost every time he's on screen doing something extreme, licensed music. Here we go.
Yeah.
Also, his character would have been canceled.
Yeah.
It's canceled.
100%.
His character would have technically been Me Too, but not by the people he touched. Yeah. I'm just saying. Miss Menounos, she was on board for everything.
Yeah.
But other people would have saw what he was doing. They'd have been like, this character's got to go.
Yeah.
Because he just grabbing and kissing up on people. Yeah, you can't. But like, as far as the story for the Fantastic Four was told, I didn't think it was terrible, right? I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. I thought the origin story, it worked.
I think
it made sense.
I think Thing had like more of the better story of all the characters. Like he's the one that you could have kind of like related to, and then you like see what he's doing and his sadness of having to be the rock guy and shit like that.
True, but I will say that at least they got that accurate to the comics.
Yeah.
Because that's something that he struggled with for real, like in the written form.
No,
I was
100%.
like, okay, in all forms of that media, he has had to deal with that. Yeah, you should tackle that.
Yeah.
But I would say like it didn't have like mind blowing CG, but I would say the set pieces in the movie when they were in space, A lot of the even some of the stuff they do with Doom, a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff where they first get their powers and stuff, like it's good. I like how it looks. They did a good job. They did a good job on being accurate.
Yeah.
Like the entire part when they're in space and then they find out they only have minutes to save Ben, and then they have to race with the storm, and then they get hit, and then they slowly start changing up there before they really go through the changes when they come back. Like that little thing is cool. The part where Doom gets just a teensy bit,
Yeah.
and he's like he doesn't think it really got him until he has that scar. Like a lot of that stuff was like, okay,
Yeah.
they did some good work. But then everything just is just like with Doom, man. I can't get behind him as the villain in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't care for him. I didn't care for him at all.
And he's the central plot, so that hurts a lot.
No. I didn't like the
just
costumes.
really
I didn't like
does.
the look. I didn't like none of it.
And I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. I didn't exactly like that the back and forth between Sue and Reed.
Yeah.
Because it also seemed like something of a sign of those times when people just. I mean, it's one of those things that it seemed like it was a symptom of. Not the great what people would say today is not great mental health.
Yeah.
Because the entire time she's antagonizing Reed for being an indecisive person, but instead of telling him what she wanted, you find out she never told him what she wanted the entire time.
Yeah.
That just made me mad. It was like, bruh, so you mean the entire time you were just giving hints?
Yeah. That's annoying.
Giving hints is one of the worst. Is one of the worst things a person could do to somebody else's mental health.
Yeah.
We find that out now. So she was basically being toxic, what you want to call it, if you want to
100%.
use that nomenclature.
Yeah.
And go. Looking back at the movie now, I can say this about her character. Yeah, she was not great.
No.
Because again, would you want something out of a person? You tell them if they can't deliver. That's when she should have left, not been like, well, I tried to move in and you didn't want to move in. Yeah, but you didn't say
Maybe.
anything else.
Like, yes or no?
Like she didn't ask,
Yeah.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Like if you say, are you ready? And he just keeps his mouth shut, well, then you can leave. But like, that's not a conversation that happened,
Yeah.
apparently.
I
A
didn't.
lot of little
Yeah.
things that you find out in this movie. It's like, man, their relationship ain't great.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I also one thing with Fantastic Four. I never was a big fan of Reed Richards as a character because I always thought it was his fault. He's an asshole. He ignores his fucking family to do science and shit. All the problems that they have is genuinely his fault most of the time. Like I never really cared for his character, but in the comic books, I do like Fantastic Four, and I know the fact that they're a family, and they always their family bond is pretty much what the comic should be. And then they don't consider themselves superheroes; they consider themselves adventurers. They consider more of like the science side of things and things like that. And that was something I kind of wanted more in this movie, is the fact that the family nature of the thing. And there was no really family chemistry between Reed and Thing, and him feeling bad for what happened to Thing. The rest, it was it was Reed and Sue arguing with each other, and her not giving the hints, and it's Johnny Storm just doing dumb shit outside of the family, and that's
Non-stop the entire movie. He never stopped being stupid and irresponsible.
Yeah. And there was no like hint. Like,
how do you just come back from space, got hit with gamma rays, you're gonna go snowboard, and then you invite the nurse, and then they I assume they hook up in the what would you call it, the hot spring
Yes.
that he made with his newly found powers.
Yes.
What? Irresponsible.
Irresponsible.
You're off the team.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta
So
go.
I kind of wanted more depth in that family story and that family dynamic of Fantastic Four, and that was not in this movie. I think Thing was my highlighted character because I felt like I think Michael Chiklis was a good Thing. I just wish he was like bigger and not look like poop. He looked like a walking pile of poop.
Hey man, that's keeping up with the tradition of the old movie, the '94 movie.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we talked 94 and how bad the CGI. At least the story was a bit more straight, and it had a better Doctor Doom.
That's 100% better Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Better story.
Still has some creepiness with Reed and Sue, but other than that, it was a better story.
Yeah, it's a better story. Definitely.
I didn't mind.
I'll just put it this way: one of the major things of this one is this movie did a lot of assuming you knew a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because it started off with everybody having some type of baggage, and it's just like there was no. They did an origin story for the powers and when they became the Fantastic Four TM. But I think it could have served with a little bit more like, and this, I mean, maybe it's going too far, but what you usually got with the original mainline origin story was you got some of Reed and Doom in college.
Yeah.
You got some of him and Ben in college, right? Their relationship. You got some of the early Reed Sue when they were a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you just straight up didn't get.
Yeah, they kind of wanted you to assume what they had, like they just showing the picture, and like you assume they were in college together. You assume they had a good relationship at a point, but they never actually showcased it.
It's a throwaway line, basically, in the beginning. Like it's
and I could agree with that. If you want a better version of the origin story, watch the Fantastic Four cartoon on Disney Plus.
True.
Just watch the theme song. It tells you the whole story.
Yes. You're right. I mean, when you're right, you're right.
That's the only thing. You just have to watch the theme song. You don't have to watch the show. Just listen to the theme song. It'll give you the whole story of what's going on.
Exactly. That's it.
And they did a better story in that theme song than they did in this movie.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It was interesting, yeah.
And it's like a 2-minute song.
It really is. It really is. But again, that kind of sums it up. They wanted to do something else, and I felt that they already had a better source to pick from. I think they chose the wrong source.
I feel like they kind of try to go too much into the action comic book, like the superhero. Like they kind of went into the superhero motif with these characters, and they're not. On to this day, I don't think they're superheroes. I think they happen to get involved with shit, but they're not superheroes. Maybe Thing more than anybody, but the rest of the family, they're a family first, and then they're adventurers next. And I would have liked to see that more. I'm hoping that the Disney, when Disney and Marvel, the MCU does the new Fantastic Four, it's more like that than what we got here. And I was sadly disappointed because I actually did not mind the four as the Fantastic Four. I did not mind them in the movie, but I had issues just with how they're dynamic and everything else. Yeah.
The characters were I get a bit off from the source material.
Yeah.
So,
and then also the suits, like they didn't really go that much deep into suits. You just assumed that they worked.
Well, I mean, you could trust Doctor Doom.
No, you can't.
When he gives you a suit, you could trust him.
No, that's true.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Where are you gonna get this movie?
I mean, but then again, they did do the work to show him being evil all the way through.
Yeah, they do. I guess
that's one thing. At least they showed that he was evil, because you wonder how he got into a relationship with Sue when at every turn, or was trying to, when at every turn he was just being dismissive to her.
Yeah.
And then always seemed very, very eager to stick the knife in Reed for some reason. So it was just like, ain't nobody else seeing this? Nobody's watching it, how he's talking to this guy?
Yeah.
Like, come on. What? Who does this in real life?
What you give this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 2.75.
2.75. So you only have one movie with that, and that's Bulletproof Monk. Is it over or under?
It's over. It's over. But Doctor Doom, man, it took a chunk out of this movie for me.
Yeah. 2.75. I will say I'll give it the same. I was kind of disappointed with it. Again, I wanted more into the depth of the characters and shit like that, and I don't think we got it. So
I would have chose if they didn't do Doom and did the guy with the 3 monkeys,
or like the Mole Man,
or the Mole Man.
Mole Man is your origin book.
But like, yeah, they went to Doom and they thought they would knock it out of the park. No, swing and a miss.
I would have took a building of Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Like maybe they never found Victor, and then they finally found him, and then he shows up in the ending of the movie. And that leads into the Galactus shit. But then we got a shitty Galactus because that was the ultimate Galactus, and
I think it was a better movie. I think the second one was probably a better movie, but yeah, ultimately just as disappointing with that.
Yep. So I'll run down our top 10 because I haven't done it in the last 2 weeks. So as of right now, I actually switched my number one right now, and Sin City 4.5. I gave it a 4.5. I put Sin City number one. So number one is Sin City, number two is Pootie Tang, number three is Spider-Man 2, number four is Spider-Man, number 5 is X-Men 2, number 6 is Road to Perdition, number 7 is Blade 2, 8 is Hellboy, 9 is From Hell, and 10 is Punisher. Your top 10 is Sin City, Pootie Tang is number 2, Blade 2 is number 3, Punisher is number 4, X2 is number 5, LOG is 6, Road to Perdition is 7, Hellboy is 8, From Hell is 9, and Spider-Man is 10. Our next movie, we go away from the comic book character, the superhero characters, and we go into a comic book movie. It's History of Violence. That's with Hugo Weaving, I think it is. We got History of Violence this week. Next week we'll have 300. After that we got V for Vendetta, and then right after that is X-Men Last Stand.
Yes, sir.
And then I know we're gonna bore you with the next one. It's gonna be Superman Returns.
Yay!
You got Zoom Academy, Ghost Rider, and then Spider-Man 3.
Get ready to dance.
Yep. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better As Well podcast. Make sure you check us out anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That is Spotify. That is SoundCloud. That is WordPress. Check it out.
Yep.
Where you at, Merc?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, all Merc with the mic. Also follow our Facebook pages, the RedCycloneInc and the Wrestling Battle pages. We are very active on there, so definitely check those out as well. And I'll shout out Tenacious T / Tatsuguwap, aka Man with Many Names. He has a little podcast called Popcorny. He's one of our fellow features on our Morphin cast, Not a Trekkie, Shell Shock, and Gamer Rage. So shout outs to his new podcast, Popcorny. Check it out when you get a chance. And if you see him on the message board or anything like that, just send him a middle finger. Send us a Peace out, ladies. And always remember, follow the Jinkies.